Welcome to the How-To Factory, the channel where we reveal how some of your favorite foods are made. Kinder Schokolade, smooth, creamy, and irresistibly sweet, has delighted chocolate lovers for generations. Whether enjoyed as a quick treat or shared with friends and family, this chocolate stands out for its rich milk filling and delicate outer shell. But have you ever wondered how Kinder Schokolade is made inside a factory? Today, we're taking you behind the scenes to see the meticulous process that transforms simple ingredients into one of the world's most beloved chocolates. The story of Kinder Schokolade begins in Italy in 1968 when Ferrero, the company behind Nutella and Ferrero Rocher, introduced this milk chocolate bar specifically for children. The name Kinder means children in German, reflecting the brand's focus on creating a treat that balances indulgence with high-quality ingredients. Unlike traditional chocolate bars, Kinder Schokolade is known for its smooth milk filling encased in a thin layer of fine milk chocolate, giving it a unique and creamy texture. Over the years, it has expanded into a global favorite with variations found in different countries. By the way, if you love learning how your favorite foods are made, consider subscribing to the channel. We post videos just like this every week, and your support helps us a lot. Now, let's step inside the Kinder Schokolade factory. The journey begins with high-quality ingredients. The chocolate shell is made from a blend of cocoa, sugar, and milk powder, while the creamy filling is crafted from skimmed milk, vegetable fats, and emulsifiers to create its signature smoothness. Ferrero is known for its strict quality control, sourcing premium cocoa beans from carefully selected farms and ensuring that the milk used is fresh and of the highest standard. The first step in production is chocolate tempering. The cocoa ingredients are melted and carefully cooled in a controlled process that ensures the final chocolate has a glossy finish and a satisfying snap. This step is crucial in preventing the chocolate from becoming dull or crumbly. Next, the milk filling is prepared. The milk is combined with vegetable fats and sugar, then whipped into a light and creamy consistency. This mixture is then piped into chocolate molds, forming the base layer of each Kinder Schokolade bar. Once the filling is set, another layer of tempered milk chocolate is poured over the top, fully encasing the creamy center. This delicate layering process is done with extreme precision to maintain the perfect chocolate-to-filling ratio that Kinder Schokolade is known for. The bars then pass through a cooling tunnel, where they are rapidly chilled to solidify both the chocolate shell and the filling. After cooling, each bar is carefully inspected for quality. Ferrero's factories use advanced technology, including laser scanners and automated vision systems, to detect any imperfections. Only the bars that meet strict standards move forward to the final stage: packaging. Kinder Schokolade is wrapped in its signature foil and paper packaging, designed to keep it fresh and protected. Once packaged, the chocolates are packed into boxes and shipped worldwide to stores where they await eager chocolate lovers. From sourcing the finest ingredients to ensuring the perfect blend of chocolate and milk filling, every step in the production of Kinder Schokolade is carefully controlled to maintain its signature taste and texture. The result? A delicious creamy chocolate bar that has been bringing joy to children and adults alike for over 50 years. Ritter Sport, square, colorful, and packed with flavor, has been a staple of German chocolate lovers for generations. Whether you prefer the classic alpine milk chocolate, the nutty crunch of whole hazelnuts, or the rich bitterness of dark chocolate with marzipan, Ritter Sport offers something for everyone. But have you ever wondered how these iconic square bars are made? Today, we're taking you inside the factory to see how high-quality ingredients and precision craftsmanship come together to create one of the most beloved chocolates in the world. The story of Ritter Sport began in 1912 when Alfred and Clara Ritter founded their chocolate company in Stuttgart, Germany. But it wasn't until 1932 that they introduced their most famous creation, a square-shaped chocolate bar. Unlike traditional rectangular bars, Ritter Sport's square design was intended to fit perfectly in a sports jacket pocket without breaking, making it an easy snack for people on the go. Over the decades, the brand expanded its range, introducing dozens of flavors, from classic milk chocolate to unique varieties like cornflakes, yogurt, and even rum raisin hazelnut. Today, Ritter Sport is sold in over 100 countries, but its commitment to high-quality ingredients and sustainability remains unchanged. By the way, if you love learning how your favorite foods are made, consider subscribing to the channel. We post videos just like this every week, and your support helps us a lot. Now let's step inside the Ritter Sport factory. The process begins with sourcing the finest ingredients. Ritter Sport is known for using high-quality cocoa beans, which come from its own certified cocoa farms in Nicaragua and Ghana. The company is committed to fair trade and sustainability, ensuring that the cocoa is grown under ethical conditions. The milk used in its chocolate comes from European dairy farms, while ingredients like hazelnuts, almonds, and marzipan are sourced from top-quality suppliers worldwide. Once the raw ingredients arrive at the factory, the chocolate-making process begins. The cocoa beans are roasted at precise temperatures to bring out their rich, deep flavors. After roasting, they are ground into a fine cocoa mass, which is then mixed with sugar, cocoa butter, and milk powder to create the different varieties of chocolate. Whether it's smooth milk chocolate, intense dark chocolate, or creamy white chocolate. The chocolate then undergoes a process called conching. In this process, it is heated and stirred for several hours to develop its signature smoothness and flavor. The longer the chocolate is conched, the finer and more velvety its texture becomes. Next, the various fillings are prepared. Depending on the flavor, this could involve roasting whole hazelnuts to a golden brown, mixing yogurt and fruit into a creamy blend, or creating a crunchy biscuit layer. Each ingredient is carefully measured to ensure the perfect balance of chocolate and filling. The chocolate and fillings are then combined in specially designed square molds. First, a layer of melted chocolate is poured into the mold, followed by the filling, and then another layer of chocolate to seal everything in. The bars pass through a cooling tunnel, solidifying and taking on their final shape. After cooling, each bar is checked for quality. Advanced scanning technology ensures that every chocolate bar is perfectly formed, with no air bubbles or cracks. Only the best ones move on to packaging. One of the most recognizable things about Ritter Sport is its colorful packaging. The company uses a special resealable wrapper that makes it easy to open and store. Each flavor has its own signature color: blue for alpine milk chocolate, red for marzipan, green for peppermint, and so on, making it easy to spot on store shelves. Once wrapped, the chocolates are packed into boxes and shipped to supermarkets and specialty stores worldwide. Whether in Germany, the United States, or Japan, you can always find a Ritter Sport bar waiting to be enjoyed. Every Ritter Sport bar is crafted with precision and passion, from its carefully sourced ingredients to its signature square shape. So the next time you break off a square of your favorite flavor, you're tasting over a century of chocolate-making tradition. Ramen noodles, springy, slurp-worthy, and irresistibly chewy. What makes them so special? It all comes down to their unique texture, achieved with a key ingredient called kansui. This alkaline mineral water gives ramen its signature bite and slightly yellow color, setting it apart from other noodles. Whether you enjoy ramen as a quick, affordable meal or a gourmet dish in a trendy restaurant, these noodles have captured hearts and stomachs worldwide. But do you know how ramen noodles are made? Today, we're taking you inside a ramen noodle factory to show you how these beloved noodles go from simple dough to the wavy, ready-to-cook staple that's known and loved everywhere. If you love learning about how your favorite foods are made, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We post new videos like this every week, and your support really helps us grow. Ramen noodles originated in China, but they've become a symbol of Japanese cuisine. In the early 20th century, ramen made its way to Japan, where it evolved into the dish we recognize today. Over the years, it's become a global sensation, with different styles and flavors being created to suit local tastes. From instant ramen packets to the fresh noodles used in ramen shops, the production process is surprisingly complex. The process of making ramen noodles starts with just 4 simple ingredients: wheat flour, water, salt, and kansui. Without kansui, ramen wouldn't have that distinct bite that sets it apart from other noodles. First, the flour is mixed with water, salt, and kansui to form a dough. The dough is kneaded thoroughly until it becomes smooth and elastic. In large factories, industrial mixers and kneading machines take over this process, ensuring the dough is the perfect consistency. Once the dough is ready, it's passed through rollers to flatten it into thin sheets. These sheets are stretched and rolled repeatedly to create the right texture. The thickness of the noodles can be adjusted based on the type of ramen being made. Some ramen styles call for thick, hearty noodles, while others use thin, delicate strands. After the dough is flattened, it's time to cut it into noodles. Using specialized cutting machines, the dough sheets are sliced into long, thin strands. These strands can be straight or curly, depending on how the dough is handled. The curly shape of instant ramen, for example, is created by gently crimping the dough before it's cut. At this point, fresh ramen noodles are ready to be cooked and eaten, but if we're making instant ramen, there are a few more steps. The freshly cut noodles are first steamed to cook them through. Then, they go through either a frying or drying process to preserve them. Most instant ramen is deep fried, which helps remove moisture, allowing the noodles to last longer on store shelves. However, some noodles are air-dried for a healthier option. Once the noodles are fully dehydrated, they're cooled down and packaged. Instant ramen noodles are typically packaged in a block or brick form, which allows them to fit neatly into bags or cups. At this stage, the seasoning packets and toppings are added to the packaging. These little flavor packs are what turn plain noodles into a savory, satisfying meal. The packaging is sealed to keep the noodles fresh, and the final products are shipped to grocery stores, convenience stores, and kitchens worldwide. Whether it's a quick meal for students or a base for more elaborate dishes, instant ramen has become a universal favorite. From humble beginnings in Asia to becoming a global phenomenon, ramen noodles have found their way into kitchens everywhere, bringing comfort and satisfaction with every bite. Whether you're a fan of fresh ramen noodles from your favorite restaurant or rely on instant ramen for a quick fix, you're enjoying a product that's been crafted with care and precision. It's smooth, it's nutty, and it's a must-have in everything from hummus to dressings. Tahini is the creamy powerhouse that brings bold flavor to dishes around the world. But what makes tahini so unique? Aside from its deep roasted sesame taste, it's packed with healthy fats, protein, and essential minerals like calcium, iron, and magnesium. Its versatility is unmatched. It can be drizzled, spread, mixed, or even baked into sweet treats. But have you ever wondered how this ancient ingredient is made? Today, we're stepping inside a tahini factory to see how tiny sesame seeds are transformed into the luscious paste we all know and love. If you love learning about how your favorite foods are made, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We post new videos like this every week, and your support really helps us grow. Tahini has ancient origins, dating back to around 2000 BCE in the Middle East. It is believed to have been first used in Mesopotamia and later spread across various regions, including Egypt and Greece. The paste became a staple in Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cuisines, prized for its creamy texture and nutty flavor. Over time, tahini's popularity spread worldwide. It is used in dishes like hummus, baba ganoush, and halva, and it remains a key ingredient in many cultures today. Making tahini starts with just one key ingredient: sesame seeds. The quality of the sesame seeds is crucial as it determines the flavor and texture of the final product. Factories source the best sesame seeds from around the world, often from countries like Ethiopia or Sudan, where the climate is ideal for growing premium quality sesame. Once the sesame seeds arrive at the factory, they undergo an initial cleaning process. This involves removing any impurities, such as dust, small stones, or broken seeds. The seeds are then washed thoroughly to ensure they're clean and ready for the next step. After washing, the sesame seeds are gently roasted. Roasting is one of the most critical stages in tahini production, as it develops the seeds' rich, nutty flavor. The seeds are roasted at carefully controlled temperatures, ensuring they don't burn, but instead release their natural oils, which will later contribute to tahini's smooth consistency. Next, the roasted seeds are hulled. During hulling, the outer shells of the sesame seeds are removed, leaving the soft inner kernels. Some tahini is made with unhulled sesame seeds, which gives the paste a darker color and a more robust, slightly bitter flavor. However, most commercial tahini is made from hulled seeds, resulting in a smoother, lighter paste with a more neutral taste. Once the seeds have been roasted and hulled, it's time for grinding. Depending on the factory, the sesame seeds are ground using large stone mills or modern stainless steel grinders. The grinding process is key to achieving tahini's smooth texture. The seeds are ground into a thick paste as the natural oils are released, creating the creamy consistency tahini is known for. At this point, the tahini is almost ready, but some manufacturers choose to process it further. The paste may be passed through additional grinding stages to make it even smoother, or it may be filtered to remove any remaining solid particles for a more refined product. Finally, the tahini is ready to be packaged. The creamy paste is poured into jars, tubs, or bulk containers, depending on where it's headed, whether to grocery store shelves or restaurants worldwide. The packaging process is carefully monitored to ensure the tahini remains fresh and free from contamination. From its ancient origins to becoming a pantry staple worldwide, tahini has stood the test of time. The next time you spread tahini on your toast or mix it into a sauce, you're not just enjoying a delicious ingredient, you're savoring a tradition that goes back thousands of years. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more factory-made insights. Have a favorite food you'd like us to explore? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching The How-To Factory.
Did you know that cereal has been a staple food in American households for a century now? We have all had a bowl of crispy sweetness to kick off our day, but have you ever stopped to think about how these crunchy little pieces are made? There is a story behind each box of cereal sitting in your pantry. Today we will dive into the fascinating history of cereals. Uncovering top favorites and learning how they are made. Breakfast cereals are as American as apple pie, but what are their actual origins? How did they manage to become a staple in every kitchen? Well, the story of the cereals is as rich as the flavors in your bowl. So, stick with us till the end as we explore the evolution of cereals, top popular brands, and the manufacturing process that makes the magic happen. Trust me when I say it's more than just a bowl of flakes. Let's dive into the magical world of cereals and learn a few new facts about our favorite cereals. The world of cereal, as we know it today, started as a health craze. It has its origins in a rather unexpected place. It was basically a health food experiment conducted by James Caleb Jackson. He created a breakfast cereal from graham flour and named it Granula. Later, John Harvey Kellogg, a surgeon who owned a health spa, created his own version of Granula and called it granola. A few years later, Kellogg and his younger brother learned a way to create flaked cereals, which they called cornflakes. John's brother, Will Kellogg, added the sugar to the recipe and started to commercialize it. Kellogg Brothers' success encouraged other entrepreneurs to get into the cereal production business, and that's how a new and delicious breakfast was introduced to the world. Enough about the history. Now let's talk about the current favorite cereals of Americans. First on the list, we have Rice Krispies. They snap, crackle, and pop, and they definitely deserve to be on top of our list. Next, we have Cheerios and Chex, a perfect heart-healthy option for adults and kids. Special K is our next favorite as a perfect healthy breakfast option. Next on the list are Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Kellogg Fruit Loops, Cap'n Crunch, Frosted Flakes, and Honey Nut Cheerios. People who love sugary treats will definitely love these delicious crunchy cereals. This was the list of top 10 cereals that have earned their place in American cereal bowls. But what if I tell you that the base ingredient for all of these cereals is the same? So how do they all taste different? To find out about this, let's take a deep dive into the production process and see how they are all made. The general manufacturing process is quite similar for all cereals, and the main ingredient that's used in all of them is raw grain. The type of grain used determines the flavor and adds texture to the cereal. Most cereals, like oatmeal and plain shredded wheat, depend solely on grain as their single ingredient. However, other cereals, such as Lucky Charms and Cap'n Crunch, may contain additional ingredients such as coloring agents and sweeteners. Except for a few ingredients and methods, the production process of different kinds of cereals is broadly similar to one another. Let's learn how our favorite bowl of deliciousness is made. The first step to any food preparation is choosing the ingredients. Most of the cereals are made on a base grain: corn, wheat, rice, or oats. The choice of these grains is made with respect to their nutritional value, texture, and flavor, because every grain brings out a totally different taste and texture in cereal. Once selected, the grains are sorted according to the side and quality to ensure the uniformity in the final product. Other ingredients such as sugar, salt, flavorings, vitamins, and minerals are added to the mix to increase the flavor and nutritional value of the cereal. Once the selection process is completed, we move on to our next step, which is milling. Milling is the next crucial step in the cereal manufacturing process that involves grinding or breaking of grains into more uniform and smaller pieces. However, before milling, grains should be thoroughly cleaned to remove all sorts of impurities. Once cleaned, the grains are softened by adding moisture. This process is called tempering, and it makes the cereals easy to break. Next, we grind or crush them to form finer particles. While grinding the grains, the endosperm, bran, and germ are separated from each other. These different parts of grains are used in a variety of cereals. Depending on the type of cereal, milled products can be blended with other ingredients to create a desired texture or flavor. Milling looks very different for each different type of grain. Corn is milled into cornmeal or grits, rice is cleaned and polished, and in some cases ground. Oats are hulled or rolled, and white is milled into fine flour. Once the grains are crushed into smaller pieces, it's time to cook them with other ingredients so they can soften and absorb the flavor while the starch gelatinizes. This process differs according to the type of cereals. If one is making Cheerios or Fruit Loops, then at this stage the dough is made for them. Or if one is making Rice Krispies, the grains are cooked under high-pressure steam to prepare them for puffing. Basically, depending upon the type of grain, the cooking process differs. As for the mixing, flavoring agents or additives are added. If one is making a few batches, grains are cooked or boiled in large kettles. But for mass production, the equipment used are totally different. A large steam chamber and conveyor belt are needed to cook the cereals in large quantities. Once the cooking process ends, the grains are cooled down to prepare them for our next step, which is shaping cereal. Once the flavors are added, our next key step is shaping the cereals. Different methods are used during this step, according to the type of cereal you are creating. Extrusion is the first method, which is used to create loop and ring shaped cereals. Cheerios, Cap'n Crunch, and Fruit Loops are created through this process. During extrusion, the cooked dough is pushed through an extruder to give it a specific shape. Flaking is another type of method that is used to create cereals, like Corn Flakes or Frosted Flakes. During this process, cooked grains are rolled out into thin flakes. However, if you want to create light and airy cereals like Rice Krispies or Honey Smacks, then puffing is the right method. During this process, rice or wheat is puffed using high-pressure steam or heat. Lastly, we have layering, during which wheat dough is formed into thin sheets, layered and cut into small square shapes. This method is used to create frosted mini wheats. Next step in this manufacturing process is drying and toasting the cereal. If you were wondering what gives that crunch to your cereal, then this is your answer. After shaping the cereals, they are heated in a large oven or kiln to remove moisture and make them crispier and crunchier. During this step, cereals are toasted to enhance their texture and give them a beautiful golden glow. Few cereals like Cinnamon Toast, Crunch, or Frosted Flakes are glazed before the drying process to add a sweetened flavor to them. If the cereal still retains any moisture after the toasting, they are air-dried or dehydrated, so they don't go bad due to the remaining moisture. If one is making granola cereal, then instead of drying or toasting, baking would be a better option. Our next step is where all the magic happens. This stage is highly crucial to the cereal manufacturing process, as it is the step when different flavors are added to cereals, and this is what sets apart each of them. Adding the flavoring also varies according to the type of cereal. For example, for some cereals like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the powder coating method is the best. Some cereals are sprayed with sweet syrups to make them more delicious. For cereals like Lucky Charms, colorful marshmallows are added after the cereal has been dried to maintain their texture. Since cereals are loved by kids, it's important to increase its nutritional value so kids get a happy and healthy breakfast. Therefore, at this stage, various minerals and vitamins are sprayed upon the cereals. Once the manufacturing process is completed, the cereals are cooled to room temperature and then packaged into airtight bags to preserve freshness and protect the cereal from moisture. Then they are put into colorful boxes labeled with all the nutritional information and sent to markets. Next time you go grocery shopping, grab your favorite box of cereals because they have been through so much to reach you. Although we have provided you with information about the cereals, it wouldn't be enough if we forgot to talk about the first type of cereal, called granula or granola. Originally created in the 19th century, granola is considered the first ever cereal. However, it took a while for it to become popular. When trying to look for healthier alternatives for sugary cereals, that's when Leighton Gentry came up with the recipe that was the healthiest breakfast option. Soon it became a staple among health enthusiasts. Later, granola bars hit the market and became popular as an on-the-go breakfast option. With the exception of a few steps, the manufacturing process of the granola is similar to the cereal making process. However, the ingredients used in granola are healthier and contain more nutrients than processed cereals. One key step in making granola is baking, where it is baked at slow heat, giving granola its golden color and crunch. Granola's manufacturing process balances simplicity with precision, ensuring a consistent, high-quality product that remains a favorite for breakfast bowls, snacks, and granola bars worldwide. And that wraps up our journey through the world of cereals. But your journey through these wholesome flavors can start anytime you visit your local grocery store. From sweet treats to wholesome bites, there's cereal out there for every kind of morning. These small treats can bring a new joy to your day. Thank you for exploring this story with us. If you found it interesting, give us a like, share it with your breakfast buddies, and subscribe for more inspiring food stories. What's your perfect breakfast cereal moment? Let us know in the comments.